Hi Noopur, welcome to our channel Mind Your Conversions by Fiber. So before we start, I'll give you a small introduction about me and about Fiber. So my name is Bhumika, and I'm working here at Marketing and Partnership at Fiber. So we have taken some new initiatives where we have taken the podcast of our AI agents Live and Max. But to make it a good start, we have started a new initiative where we are having a conversation with the marketers who are really doing well in their field. And I think you are the one of the few guests who have joined to our channel. So welcome to our channel on from the behalf of our whole team. So before we start, can you just give a little bit introduction about yourself and your journey in the field of CRO?
Okay, cool. So thanks, Bhumika and Team Fiber for having me. So I'm Noopur. I currently am the co-founder of a brand and growth consulting firm called The Build Inc. And where we sort of work with early stage B2C brands and help them with their branding, communications, growth, and CRO, right? So how my journey started was actually back in 2019, where I had my first stint where I was leading strategy at strategy and analytics actually at a beauty and personal care brand, right? So I was there, and from 2019 to 2025, I've worked with multiple different brands, especially in the D2C consumer space, to help them, overall with their conversion rate optimization, right? So my background before that was in math and analytics, right? So I think overall the entire gamut of analyzing data, understanding customer experience, design, right? It's not just one thing that CRO actually stands for. It's a combination of all of these things, which I sort of really enjoy, and that's why I've stuck to it for sort of so long. And it's also not that once you get a hang of it, you can just sort of do it on any brand or any product. It's a new challenge and a new way in which customers react with every brand. So I think the challenges are also great. So that's why I've sort of stuck around for a while.
I think it's more than 5 years that you are working in this space, I think, right? I think this is great. Before I started here also, I just know a little bit about these conversions and all. But now I am working in the field and I am knowing the knowledge of like what are the pain points of the customers, what are they seeing, what they want. I think there is a large scope in nearby future that people are not taking it too seriously that yeah, this is a really impactful thing in their business. So I think this is really means a lot and you have shared it. So with the next, like marketers spend so much on ads, we see like spending on ads became a so casual thing right now.
Right.
So but I don't think it is really important for their conversion optimization. It is not directly related to their conversion. So, like, why do you think like here CRO is so underrated and people doesn't understand the value of it right now?
Correct. Honestly, I definitely feel CRO is underrated, and I honestly say it all the time to people and even on my LinkedIn and stuff like that. So, see, when you spend more and more on your advertising, which we of course see a lot of brands doing, especially over the last 5 odd years. That's okay. That will of course lead to eventually perhaps lead to more conversions. But even if you get quality traffic on your website and your website is not optimized or it doesn't convey what it needs to your consumers, people are not going to convert, right? So say for example, I feel a lot of things that we see in offline stores can be directly applied here. So say you walk into an IKEA store, right? You have tens of thousands of products over there, right? But say that you walk into a store and there is no board, there is no direction, there is no segregation of product, there is no sort of help or support or anything of that happening. So you're just sort of walking into a store with 10,000 products. You are just going to, be thoroughly confused and basically quit shopping, right? You're not going to take the effort of looking at, okay, where is the home section, where is the bedding section yourself, right, without any direction from the IKEA store. So similarly in the online space, I think that is why that's sort of the parallel that I would like to draw. Similarly, that in the online space, that is what we mean exactly by conversion rate optimization. That once you sort of get traffic on your website, how do you want them to navigate through the page? What do you want them to see? What do you want them to take away so that they don't quickly basically drop off? So I think that is what we need to. That is why we always stress upon conversion rate optimization so much. And I think this example really helps all newbies and people, new founders actually understand the importance of conversion rate. So I thought I'll share.
So, as you have started your business in 2019, so according to you, what are the biggest challenges or what are the biggest mistake that you have done? You have listened about like CRO myth that people are talking about it at that point of time, and now you get to know that yeah, you have done those mistakes in the early stage of that of your business.
Right. So I think my business just started 2 years ago, but yeah, since 2019, I've been in this field. And like we just discussed before, that I think the biggest mistake that everyone, including me at some point, have made is that focusing a lot only on getting more and more traffic, right, to the website. Because what brands think is that, okay, say 100, there are 100 sessions on your page and you get one order, that's like 1% conversion rate. So if I need like 10 orders, maybe I need to get 1,000 sessions. That's typically how the the mind works, very linearly in that sense. But think like the mistake that most people, including me at some point, have also made is not optimizing for that 1%, right? You are just optimizing to increase the sessions from 100 to 1,000, but not for increasing 1% to 1.5% or 2% or 2.5% and so on and so forth, because that in the long term actually builds a profitable business. So I think not thinking about that is the biggest sort of mistake that anyone can make. And I see a lot of early stage founders also make that kind of mistake because you are sort of in a hurry to showcase that, okay, this is the number of orders that perhaps I can generate. So I think that's one. Myths, I think one myth I definitely can think of is that, and also sort of a mistake that a lot of brands do, is having too many pop-ups or interactions on their website, right, through the web page. Now, if I again go back to the offline store IKEA example, it's sort of like imagine you're just walking through the store and trying to explore the products on your own, and there are like 5 people coming and asking you for your phone number, asking you for this information, that information, and stuff like that. It just hampers the shopping experience totally, right? So I'm not saying pop-ups are completely to be done away with, but they should be really used really well. So some people just feel like pop-ups, having a pop-up, you'll get a lot of customer information, but that can backfire a lot. So it has to be done in a very measured way, and yeah, it's thought of really well.
Yeah, what you said about the pop-up thing, I think this is becoming a very irritating thing right now. When we go as a website which is for example, a small business sort of thing. So they are giving so many types of pop-ups for this information, and it feels like to quit the website and just went away from there.
Right.
If there is a website which is subtle, they're asking for just for once for any information like email or sort of thing. So it gives a clarity to us, like we want to just fill up the information for once and then we can visit the website.
Yeah.
But nowadays, one pop-up at the beginning, one pop-up at the middle, and one pop-up at the last. It is sort of very irritating and doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So also we have heard a lot of thing about the landing pages and the things like landing pages should be optimized. This is a phrase we can say it. But what are your thought that what does it actually mean? Or we can say like these are the must have elements in the high converting landing pages.
Yeah. Uh, I have a very simple answer to this, which I also share with a lot of people that I speak to, but I'll not take credit for it because I had read about it somewhere a long time ago and it has stuck with me. So it goes like this, right? For your landing page to be optimized, uh, that page, the first fold of it or the second fold, that page should answer these 3 questions for somebody who's joined, right, who has come in. It should basically say what it does. So basically, what is your product or service offering? Who is it for? Right. So when I instantly come here, I should be able to understand by your imagery, by what you've written, whether this is for me or not, and not sort of confuse me. And third, how good is it? Right. So social proof, all other elements, testimonials, etc. So these three things. So what it does, how good is it, and uh, who is it for? Right. These three things actually, and if you execute them in the most sort of in the least fiction way possible, right? That is what will help you optimize a landing page, right? So once somebody comes in, if these three questions are answered for them, then there is a lesser chance of sort of them dropping off without exploring other elements of the page or the website.
Okay, what you have said, like 3 points, I have learned, or I can say I have read it in many ways, but people are focusing on only one point, like this is my product only, or some other person will say this is my product only. So this is a different, we can say, that people will focus on only one objective, and will not, I would say, will not focus on the other 3 points, that these three
Correct.
points they should have in their firstly optimized landing pages. I
Correct.
think this is really cool. And this, my question also belongs to the second question. Like everyone talks about A/B testing. We are learning, we are talking about it from our studies also about the A/B testing, the benefits of A/B testing. But like why it is necessary? We have understood in many theoretical ways or something like that. But why it is necessary for the business, and how can be a simple steps like the marketers can adopt A/B testing without complicating the things?
Yeah. So that's a good question actually, because see, there are a couple of different thoughts that I have on this, right? So A/B testing obviously is extremely important because on a website there are so many different elements that you can sort of change and understand the behavior of customers, right? Depending on the change in that element. Say, for example, you change the color of a button, right? Is that leading to more clicks? Right? Is that leading to more drop-offs or whatever? That is something that's so critical for you to actually understand, and A/B testing sort of facilitates that, right? So in all of that, that is extremely important. However, there is also what happens, especially because I work with a lot of small and mid-sized businesses, right? A/B testing is mostly only feasible with like sophisticated techniques and tools when you have a certain amount of traffic. Say you have like 10,000 sessions on a page or something of that sort. So a lot of marketers get stuck in that loop, that they are too small, their brand is too small, they want to try really sophisticated A/B testing results, right? So that combination sometimes doesn't work out, right? So you should definitely go for A/B testing with sophisticated tools, which will give you statistically significant results. If you have a good amount of traffic, like I said, at least about 10,000 or 50K sessions, the more data, the better. However, if you're small, you can still do a lot of different kinds of tests, right? So, like you asked, for a simple way for marketers to start running tests is just there are a lot of hypotheses that marketers themselves, formulate when they are working on their brand, right? So they always have a few things. Say, for example, if I could add these reviews next to my add to cart, what would happen? Right now, even if you don't have an A/B testing tool, you can still look at data in similar periods, say 2 weeks without the social proof bit, and 2 weeks after adding the social proof bit. It won't be the most accurate, but you will still see if there is like an uplift happening on your add to carts. You can use a free tool like Clarity to sort of, measure and understand that better. So yeah, I think for really for marketers who are starting up first, simple ways to just start reading up on best practices, formulate some small hypotheses like this, like it could be the color of button, it could be a small statement here and there, and then measure, right? Even if you don't have access to sophisticated A/B testing tools, you can still do these on your own, like whatever anecdotal information you have, you can use that to sort of test around that.
Okay. So when I asked one of my colleague or one of my friends, like, what do you think? Like, what is the thing that converts the people? What is a must-have element that people will go to it and people will like it most in the website or any other way. So, according to some point of views, they say it is like visuals. Some say like color elements. Some will say it should be aesthetic or. So, according to your point of view, which is the one of the that element that converts people?
Got it. I feel visuals are definitely important, but more than sort of having really just aesthetic looking design, there has to be a combination of uh, you know clear, high quality imagery and messaging that is consistent with your brand language. So it's not like one product page can look completely different from the rest of your brand. Right, it has to be consistent. Your brand language needs to be consistent across your home page, or product page, or cart page, or checkout page. It should have that consistency, and it should have clear, concise information, not necessarily concise, sorry, clear information with yeah, just high quality imagery, I think. But the one thing that definitely converts, according to me, is social proofing elements. It is when you showcase that there are other people like yourself who've loved and tried and tested out this product and given this particular review and stuff like that. So,
It's like same the way that we are going for any product on Amazon or something like that, and we are seeing the reviews that yes, people are use it and it is a trusted product. I
correct.
think that means a lot for the people to review it, and they will get a sort of confidence that yes, the product is doing something really well, that people are using it.
Correct. And I think on Amazon, one thing that I specifically do also as a user is that, okay, I see the product imagery that the brand has put up. I go to the reviews and I look at the images that people have clicked to see how it looks like in a natural, normal home setting. Does it? Because images sometimes on the product listing can just be a little too good to be true, right? So I think people definitely use that as a means of also understanding exactly how the product is going to feel and look like. And
I think everyone does that thing. Like
yeah,
after seeing the main images on the front page, people will go back to the review section and see the images with the picture which are clicked with the mobile camera. I
yeah,
think people will go and go check out because it will give them a social proof that yeah,
correct.
people are using it. Okay. So like privacy concerns are changing nowadays very large amount, and like there are few tracking options. So how do you think like businesses still optimize their conversions without relying too much on the user data?
Yeah. So first, I think that we already spoke about would be A/B testing. So there would be a few hypotheses that you have depending on your brand, customers, etc. And that is something that you can keep testing, and that does not need a lot of data coming in from the cookies, etc. Second would be, I think, just having a very good holistic sort of website experience, right? Like we just said, consistency across all your pages. So elements of social proof coming in, right? These definitely don't need third-party cookies to sort of track that data. So all of those things, so testimonials, people talking about product efficacy, the usual reviews and ratings, these kinds of images that we spoke about, that kind of layer definitely would be the second thing that's useful. Third, I feel like this contextual kind of personalization, right, which I have seen now recently with a lot of SaaS companies use, which is that, say, for example, I search something um, on Google, or I come via a certain ad on Meta, the landing page actually has the same communication as the communication on the advertising, right? So that basically helps build that kind of recall with the advertisement, and also that is also sort of personalized, right? And can be done with the help of UTM tags, etc., and not necessarily the um, other tags. And yeah, I think lastly, it can just be first party data, right? So you have data of customers if they've purchased from you before, right? Or if you use one of those pop-ups to get more information about people, or any of that. Maybe they've signed into your loyalty program. So that kind of data that you already have, you can use it to further, personalize your, you know, uh, landing pages or personalize your communication and help them actually build on that.
Okay. Yesterday only, I just read one of the newsletter, and it is written like AI is everywhere. We are just listening this AI is everywhere. So, do you think like AI powered optimization or CRO will change the human decision making? And what are the like future trends you are seeing in the field of CRO because of AI?
Got it. So I think a lot of things on personalization specifically, based on whatever I've read and I've also learned about Fiber AI, right? A lot of things specifically on personalization are going to come up. And while CRO specifically is like, a combination of art and science and a lot of other things. So I feel like while AI will come in, it will bring in a sort of a number of things that otherwise one would manually have to do, right? Or manually have to hypothesize and actually give those suggestions to hyper personalize every landing page experience. I think that is something that will be uh, great to see on sort of how it happens. I have not personally tested any of those, but it will be great to see how that happens. Um, but just one thing that I feel perhaps where AI and humans will sort of work together is that to understand a certain brand, right, or sort of optimally convert people on a certain brand website, you need to understand who the right brand is, who the customer is, right, and who the target audience is basically. And that I think will go to the AI as an input and not necessarily something that it can perhaps uh, come up on its own. So I'll give you a small example. For example, we were running these ads on, say, Meta for a certain product, which we felt like, and we were showing like your regular 25, 30-year-old models on that. And eventually, when we saw the data, we were surprised because this was being bought by women in like their 50s, right? So what we immediately did was that we sort of changed our ad creatives to show real women in their 50s, and we sort of also changed the imagery on our listing images, right? Then that sort of further improved our conversion rate quite a bit because now the right target audience was seeing themselves, right? This was also acting as another kind of a social proof element, and then therefore they were converting. So I think with AI, we might have to give in some of these inputs saying that, okay, this is exactly my target consumer. This is what my brand language is, and this is how I speak to my consumers. And maybe then it will sort of help even better with hyper personalization, I think. Because AI is everywhere. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I think what you said about AI, I think what are the inputs we are getting that are the major concern because what we will feed to them, these are the things that you should focus on at the point of your giving the output. I think those inputs are really crucial. And one more thing that I would say that if the AI is giving the solutions, the more decision making will be on the human perspective as well because a machine can't see the emotion elements or can't see the human element that people can take at the time of the decision making. So I think whatever AI will do, a human perspective or human touch is always necessary.
Correct.
CRO as well.
Good. I'm
So
good to glad to hear that from you as well.
okay.
Okay.
So these are the questions. I would ask the last question to you. Like if a person who is starting in the CRO or who is starting in the field of the marketing of CRO, like what are the some few tips you want to give them to start and learning and stand out in this field?
I think the first thing would be to follow me on LinkedIn. But no, seriously, I think the main thing for marketers to sort of who are starting new in this field would be to get the basics right. Right? It's not about going ahead and trying your hand at ultra experimentation of everything, but really just look at your data in depth, right? For example, if you're running a product business, look at your sessions to add to carts, your add to cart to checkout to conversion ratios, and see benchmark it with your industry standards. See where people are dropping off, where you're not performing better, and then keep on optimizing till you reach that 2.5, 3%, or whatever is your standard conversion rate of your industry, right? and don't stop till then. If your checkout to add to cart, say for example, your add to cart to checkout ratio is lower than average, what can you do on your cart to further improve customer experience, right? So I think that is something that is number one. And second is, I think a lot of these things also happen on platform, right? So people make a lot of mistakes in saying, let's say for example, I run like a buy one get one free offer all the time. Obviously my conversion rate is going to be higher than when I sell full price. Or if I'm just showing my ad to repeat customers, obviously the conversion rate is going to be higher than to like a completely cold audience. So, but measure it cohort wise. Don't just go ahead with like a blanket approach every time of saying that, okay, I have like 5% conversion rate or 7% conversion rate. What is it for new customers? What is it for repeat customers? What is it on offer periods versus non-offer periods? So just get a good hang of your data and speak to a lot of people and understand industry benchmarks. I think that is definitely where one can start, right? And yeah.
Yeah, right. Because when we will learning the theories of related to conversion and seeing the real impact and seeing the real world examples, I think that is a very different poles apart, we can say.
Correct.
Learning is a different thing, and when you're seeing and you are working with the real cases is very different. And what you have said, I think this is one of the most important thing is when we will talk to some different people, there is some new and fresh perspective when we will get to know every time. So I think this is one of the insight that I will also take. I'll also follow you and also take initiatives from other new persons. So
Awesome.
that's all, Noopur. Thank you so much. It was a really cool and very fun conversation with you. I think we will reach to your audience as well as you can connect to our audience, and people will get to know the some underrated facts about the CRO that they are not really up to date about it.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for joining, and we are glad to have you. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me over. It was nice chatting.
Okay, thank you.